Hey, it's Big T here. Today I want to tie a quick, simple streamer for you. It's a Marabou quilled streamer. This one I'm showing here is in a pink and a peach combination, but I'll also tie that in a purple and blue, or purple and black rather, blue and black, black and red. This is a chartreuse and olive with a little bit of crystal flash mixed into the tail. And then the one we're going to do today is a black and chartreuse. I'm tying these on a number 8 3x length nymph slash streamer hook, barbless, that I have in my store, with a 4mm tungsten bead. Which I picked up off of my little hairline silicone bead pad. That's one of my favorite things, is that little bead pad. Keeps things from rolling off everywhere. The back of it, actually, you can mix epoxies on and they don't stick to it. You can wipe off if you do epoxy work. That's an inexpensive thing that I love and use every day. I'm going to add weight to that if I want, or use a smaller bead if I want it lighter. You can put as much lead wire, up to 0.30 gauge lead wire, if you really want to make that thing a lot heavier. So I'm going to tie in our tail, which is about the length of the shaft, right at this hook point, and then wrap back up behind the bead, pinch my tail, and wrap the rest of this feather around. I'm pinching the tail just so we don't get twist there. And secure this behind the bead there and trim off the excess. That's giving me, since I'm not using lead wire, that's giving me a little bit of bulk to the body, as well as some coloration underneath. At this point, if you wanted to add crystal flash, you can just add a couple pieces and tie them in. I'm not going to worry about that on this particular fly. But I'm going to take my black Marabou quill, and I'm going to actually, similar to when you use a feather for soft tackle, I'm going to pull back from the center of the stem the fibers, and then I'm going to just trim off a hair of that tip and tie this tip in. This is the point where things can go wrong, because that tip is pretty easy to break if you're not careful. So I'm going to use my hand instead of hackle pliers, because I can gauge the tension a little bit better. But stroke the fibers backwards as I turn this Marabou quill, and I'm going to wrap it forward. You may want to take a couple turns in the back, just because you don't really have much in the way of fibers coming to start, but either way you're fine. And just continue to wrap this forward, making it work for you. I get pretty hands-on with my flies at times when I am trying to do this. I think it was Chuck Morris, he's a great fly tyer. It's local here, the southeast. I think I overheard him. If not, I'm going to give him credit for it. Say if a feather isn't doing what you want, you have to make it do what you want. And I'm going to come around a couple times to secure that. And then come from underneath and trim that stem out. At this point, I just want to come back behind that, make sure I've got that secured and everything tied back in there. Alright, if you wanted to, you could come in with a black dubbing, but for the purposes of simplicity and to show you just how quick and easy this fly can be, I'm going to leave it just like that. Use a little bit of Zap-A-Gap on my thread and make a couple turns with that before I go in for the whip finish. And that will do it. This is one of those flies that you can apply any sort of color combination to it. And that fly will really lay flat when it gets wet. As you move it in the water, it'll streamline back. But the nice thing is it'll also pulse forward as you pause when you're stripping that fly. It's a great one. It's easy. Must have in your fly box if you're looking for something quick to tie. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already at Big T Fly Fishing. And have a great day.